Global Sky Industries, a map that eUnited is well experienced at, and yet has also struggled on throughout the course of Season 1.
Yeah, they really have. I mean, Season 1 has not been a good showing for them as far as what they're capable of as a team. Maybe they can show signs of life. It's a big maybe, bearing in mind. You know, I'm not beating it around the bush. It's going to be difficult for them to do the way Misfits have been playing time and time again. You know, it's like Desk were mentioning. You know, when you've got the ults available to you, you've got the Graviton Surge, you've got the Pulse Bomb, and you don't really get too much value out of it. You win the team fight, you get 2 kills, and you still can't take the first point. Yeah, it's really rough, and it does just show the immense sort of difference between these two teams.
Well, the other thing, too, is that you think about Misfits throughout the course of Season 1, they've been the polar opposite of eUnited. They not only win fights that they have no right to be winning based on what the other team has in reserve, but anytime they do have an advantage, they generally convert on it very well with minimal ults expended. So Misfits across the board, it's been really good mechanical play, but also very good decision-making that's been putting them over the top. And right now, there's just a gulf of difference between these two teams.
Okay, ZP, you know I'm a betting man, okay? I like to bet my items of clothing on the line here for this.
Yes.
What are the chances, do you say? Give me some odds, actually. I want to hear some odds from you that Misfits get a full hold here and now.
I would say...
Oh, ZP, is that you?
No,
on the left?
Actually, you know what? I might dance better than Winston. I'm upgrading myself.
That's a claim, ladies and gentlemen. If you can see this guy.
Do you disagree?
Yeah, I do. I straight up disagree.
All right, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. We'll have to have a dance off at some point.
I got some respect for you.
That's some shoulder content for you there. We're gonna dance off.
I got the respect that you actually went out and you know you threw some shapes out on the dance floors of Denver, but. You know, we gotta teach you a thing or two. We gotta take you down to the dance school.
All right. Well, you know what? That school, hopefully, it's not taught by you as eUnited. Coming right in here,
what is this
and they're running with the May offense. So this is a case where they're hoping that Misfits just dives right in. They can wall someone out, and now they're looking for Swoosh. Where's the wall? Unfixed really wants to land it here, but doesn't have a great opportunity. And meanwhile, Morta just eats dirt in the back.
Yeah, this May offense, it might work in certain scenarios. I can understand the sort of thought process behind it, but there's no one to take care of Logix right now, and he's just been tearing up the back lines. Already Zupe built up the EMP, and they've got it for the next team fight. And I guess sort of the approach that eUnited wanted to go for there is using the May wall, you can block off the Mega Health Pack, stop them from getting to it with the Sobra, really just sort of segregate the team as they try and take the point, but also the sort of shack just next to the point as well. There's a lot of areas you can deny with that the May Ice Wall, but you know, didn't really work out. A bit of a cutesy play, and now already, as I mentioned, the EMP ready.
Boombox so low. Zupe was looking for it, but he doesn't overcommit. You know why? He's playing smart. He knows he has the EMP, and it might have been nice to get the pick off there, but he has a guaranteed EMP into the back, and now Misfits, they're going to convert off of that immediately, take down Morta, and really swarm in. And Bren, I gotta say here, is Unfixed just looking for any reason to not play D.Va? Because May is very unconventional here, and there's no D.Va in play. They're not running with triple tank, and it's clearly hurting them.
Right, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't read the minds of the team, you know, and it would be dishonest of me to claim that I know the current mind state, I guess, of eUnited. But given that they can't make playoffs right now, this is a little bit of a show match just kicking off between Misfits and eUnited. I say, you know, why the hell not? Why not just go for these wacky sort of compositions, see what works? Because I like the idea behind the May pick. You can see what they're going for with the Ice Wall to try and block people off, because there's a lot of areas you can do that. And there are openings. You see Morte, he's managed to find Zevisai shot off the back of it, so this is looking good for them for the time being. But the amount of damage they just put in there, again, they're going to be finding 2 quick kills here, but it looks like this is turnable for eUnited.
It is, but now they're down supports. Cruz is going to have to either heal himself or kill all his enemies. Otherwise, he's not going to be living for too long. And Zupe here actually has a bit of a chance, because anyone he attacks, they're not going to be able to heal up. And Tavik, in the back, now has the visor, and he's going to pop it.
Oh, he's styling on these fools all day long right now. Tactical visor going to be used just to unfix the last man standing on the point. He is going to fall. However, eUnited now, if you look at the ultimate situation, ladies and gentlemen, at the top of your screens right now, you can see 5 ultimates online for eUnited against Misfits when they've only got the 1. So there is an opening right now for eUnited to take this. I would be surprised to see them if they actually manage to do it.
eUnited has been diving in with so little subtlety, though, that even if they use all this here, I feel like this is the perfect scenario for Manitin to just get the mother of all self-destructs. We'll see.
Ooh, okay.
No, he's going for the low play here, into the back, and it's mitigated by Sharik. So, no, it's not the mother of all self-destructs. self-destructs unless you count killing a Winston bubble. And now eUnited, they dive in with the barrier.
Oh, Logic's post-bomb 2K in close quarters. Good night, sweet prince. And Manhattan going to be picking up Valutire as well. Ice Wall, there's the reason you run the May, right, ladies and gentlemen. You can see that there and then. But eUnited, they've used every single ultimate at their disposal, and they're still not winning this fight convincingly. Logix is tearing the backlines up. Morte did not stand a chance. Unfix now going to be really just taking the brunt force of this damage here. Still the point continuing out. Let's get the DMEC for the time being, and Misfits still going to be trying to contest it.
Well, let the record state that May, the Ice Walls here have been blocking off no, Logix! Throw that to your enemies! Getting iced out there, not quite what he was looking for. And eUnited, it's been a bit of a slog. They're keeping up pressure, but they're almost out of time here, Bren. And now, you still have Tvik on the point, but not anymore.
Overtime ticking down. Nobody is ever able to contest the point, so eUnited are not going to get full health. They are going to be able to hold on to this one for now. 4 minutes is all they've got to work with now. See a bit of a replay here. Was this the pulse bomb? I believe it was. So just get sent flying. I love it. I love it when the ragdolls just don't make sense.
Oh, man. Well, the ice definitely working in Unfix's favor, but he gets picked off immediately here. A little bit too far forward. Don't know if we'll see him swap here. He probably should, but he's so close to the blizzard. And
like, what's Cruz doing?
Hiding. He's taking a nap. He's sleeping on the jump.
They know he's there. They just jumped on him.
He just wanted a bit of rest, Bren.
He just wanted a little bit of a break, you know, a bit of a breather. That was quite an intelligent play. If they didn't know Cruz was there, he did have the Dragon Blade up. He could have just waited for the right opportunity. But Misfits now, again, still running Zupe on this Sombra means they're going to have this EMP for the next fight. Boombox needs to be super careful with this sound barrier, right? Because if they if they misplay with his sound barrier and use it there, or they've already used it so early on, the EMP doesn't actually negate much of the sound barrier, if any at all, but we're going to see a lot of ults being popped off as they try and take this.
Well, they do drop the Blizzard. It buys them some room here early on. The Blade, of course, doing more, and the flanking DPS from eUnited following up that Blizzard quite well. The problem is that Misfits isn't that wounded. They're still able to move back onto the point, and even though eUnited had a semblance of control, they're not able to keep up that control, because once the Blizzard fades, May isn't giving you nearly that much on the attack.
Yeah, I like how as well Boombox and Morte have swapped roles for this game, for this one in particular map. Like normally you see Boombox on the Zen, normally you see Morte on the Lucio, and Logix, he's just happy to just do a little dance, do a little jig. You know, just wants to show us some moves. That's called the Charleston, by the way, ZP. I don't know, we should probably teach you that one if we want to get you started on dance school.
You know what? You have to enroll in this school with me, Bren. That's the only way.
I don't need it. I teach it.
No,
I am the teacher of the dance school. Right?
I want a refund.
Honestly, this is brutal though. The amount of the plays that Misfits are coming out with, like Logix, again, the fadeaway pulse bomb just there onto Unfix when he came out of the ice block. Just filthy stuff all around, and they've brought it down now to almost 2 minutes on the clock. That's all the eUnited have to work with. No ultimates, and Unfixed, he's decided to switch things up. Again, he's going to be running the Hanzo here.
Hanzo in play. Geometry class might be in session. Tvik right now, not even worried, just hiding here in the back line. Now rotating around, and eUnited, they're really split off in this attack. I mean, Shriek is sitting here going, please help, please help. Send help.
Please.
He does get
Please come in with me. He's just getting shut down completely. I mean, and that was, again, the Primal Rage wasted there. eUnited, you can tell they're sort of a bit, you know, off tilt a little bit now when they're moving in with these ults because they're just not really coordinating with them, and Misfits are still sitting on a huge amount of ultimates here, ZP.
Well, eUnited right now, they might be messing around a little bit, but man, if they aren't allergic, and oh no, this is gonna be a big MP, strips the sound barrier, but only from 3. It doesn't hit as many as they would like, and yet it still might have hit enough. Valutire trying to bring it back, but now Tvik, plenty of room with this visor to do just enough for Misfits to let them stabilize.
Yeah, Manhattan picks up a triple kill in the meantime with the help of his team, just hunting down these weak targets, and you're going to see Misfits, again, sitting with a successful defense, not even a single tick on the board right now for them. And then you can see Logix. I mean, these stats just tell the entirety of his play so far in this season. This man, one of the best tracers in EU, possibly even the world. He is absolutely phenomenal.
All right, Unfixed. He's swapped to a tank here. Not as conventional in recent times, but Roadhog, there has been some degree of idea that you can be played more. So eUnited swapping to a 2-2-2. Let's see if this works out. A lot will depend on whether or not he can land that early hook pickoff to get momentum in their favor.
Cruz, Helix, look at that, set things up. Tvik goes down, the self-destruct into the back lines. not going to be finding a kill. In fact, Cruz is entirely just cleaning up here. He's already picked up 3 kills for the half of his team, and now it's up to Logix to try and turn this one around. He's got the pulse bomb in hand. Now Swoosh is going to try and really stagger out this overtime push as it stands with his own little primal rage. Logix equalizing it out, brings down Sharik.
Well, right now for eUnited, it's their best attempt yet after swapping to the 2-2-2, set up by Cruz, but the reinforcement from Misfits, able to get those very key entry kills, of course, aided by Tvik on the Doomfist, and now Misfits doing, again, just enough to throw eUnited off of the point, and that's going to be it. However, one good part here for eUnited is that they did get a tick, and no matter what, this won't be a draw.
You're such a positive guy, ZP. You know, you always look at the positives in life.
I look for the upsides wherever possible, except when I watch you dance.
I mean, what? Again, the savagery with my dance moves. Listen, you can ask Uber, you can ask Reinforce, ask any of these guys, even Sideshow, right? Even he, as much as he likes to antagonize me, he's seen my dance moves though, ZP. We go way back. Me and Sideshow throwing shapes all across the country.
Do you truly believe he would defend it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think he would. I've got an entire squad backing me up with my dance moves. Who have you got? No one.
I have myself.
No one. You got yourself?
If you can't believe in yourself, Bren, who do you really have?
That's true. I believe in myself though, and I've got other people believing in me. So I've got the double whammy. Don't whatever me, son. You started this mess. Listen, we're gonna make a dancer out of you yet.
One day, one day.
One day.
But now we look here as we head into the next round. Misfits, of course, the path to victory. Relatively straightforward indeed. All they need to do is get on to point B, and they don't have to get a full capture. They don't even need half. They just need a slightly over 39%, and that'll be enough. And eUnited, they're coming out with something we haven't really seen here before.
Nope.
Where they're coming out with Unfixed on the Roadhog.
Yeah.
And truth be told, I still think it's an improvement over some of the other comps have been running.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're actually going to be seeing the support duo of eUnited are going to be on their correct roles this time. Boombox will be on the flex support, Morte on the Lucio, so no switches up here. And Sharik going to be running that Ryan, I was about to call it reinforced then. I mean, I've been spending too much time around him, I think, because all he goes on about is his Reinhardt gameplay, but it's going to be Misfits. What are they going to be coming out the gate with? I imagine Manhattan's going to be making a switch to something a bit more sensible, possibly a D.Va, but you never know, you know. And it is a D.Va. Yep, there you go.
I trusted you, Manhattan. I thought you would go full Renegades, and you did.
As cool as that would be to see, I feel like Misfits, they're not messing around in the slightest, are they, coming into this fight?
None the least, and they're going straight up the gut here. Manhattan goes, I will claim this high ground. I will jet right up. And Shriek, he's already out of the fight, overextends a bit. And now Manhattan just building damage by laying the fire in the Unfixed. And Unfixed, he's running for dear life right now, and it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, he gets brought down already with overwhelming damage being put into the Misfits are going to be the winners of this initial team fight. The first team fight into this game so far. And Misfits are going to have a hell of a lot of time now to work with to capture this last tick that they need to get on the second tech point. Ultimate-wise, Logix is sitting nicely on his own pulse bomb. We'll be having that. I mean, we could
on the field.
No way.
It's
really?
happening.
Boombox on the Sombra as well. What is this composition?
Death and destruction.
It's not going to work.
That's what eUnited does.
All right.
Now.
Would you feel comfortable making a bet on this composition?
Absolutely not. Are you
like
crazy?
Saying if it's going to lose, basically. Would you bet your suit jacket that it's going to lose?
No.
Even now, when they've lost so many players. Logix! The guy is crazy. As much as it was just only a single kill with the post-bomb, with everything else, it will be the end here. Whilst we were talking about the composition potentially going to be failing, indeed it did. And now Misfits are going to be taking map number 3. Again, rapid fashion, very quick gameplay kicking off between here and now. And then ZP, I mean, what are your thoughts so far on this? Is Misfits, I asked you before, is there a team in EU that can stop them? You said Giganti.
I still believe Giganti.
You still believe they can do it? You still believe they can take it? What about 1, 2, 3?
I think 1, 2, 3 is an X factor as far as what we've seen from them so far. They've improved over the course of Season 1, and there's always an X factor when you go to a live event. So I would put 1, 2, 3 as sort of my dark horse for Contenders Finals.
Okay. Yeah, there's always that danger as well. When you are the top seed coming into an event, you have a bit of a target on your back, right? A lot of teams are going to try and clock your style. In fact, I believe Christopher actually said himself, like, you know, when it gets to this point in a tournament, teams are going to start to figure out Misfits' play style as it gets later on into the game. So we're probably going to see, you around the playoffs times, potentially a different story taking place.
Well, don't forget, too, that one of the stories of Season 0 was where Misfits were dominant in the group stages, much like they were here.
Exactly.
And then they fell off immediately in the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen to them again. I think they've fixed a lot of the issues that they had, particularly in terms of their flanking DPS. Logix has been huge for them. But you know what? The games have to be played, and it'll be interesting going forward. But speaking of games being played, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, map number 4 will be heading right at you. And we are back with Overwatch Contenders Season 1 EU, heading into Watchpoint Gibraltar now, Bren. Misfits versus eUnited, and so far this hasn't been too much of a surprise. It has been dominance from Misfits once again.
Yeah, everyone expected it. You know, the whole analyst desk across the board, they expected it was going to be the 4-0. And we're going to be potentially seeing it here and now on Gibraltar as we look to see, you know, at some point in history, eUnited were very comfortable on this map. Misfits clearly feel like they can take it to them here and now. So, I mean, no surprises so far, I'd say, from what we've seen from both these teams, I guess. You know, the way eUnited have been playing. They've been experimenting a little bit, to say the least.
They've definitely been having a little bit of fun. I mean, some of the things that came out there, like the Hanzo and May, I don't think they would have done it under normal circumstances, but it's tricky, right? Because eUnited, they know that they've had better showings than what they've had so far in Contenders, and you're playing a risky game when you go, okay, we're just having fun, because even though they can't make the playoffs, if they were to have come out here strong and shell-shocked Misfits, that would have been really good for them going forward. So, I mean, there is sort of an opportunity cost here from them perhaps messing around as much as they are.
I mean, they could still do it as we head into Gibraltar. You never know. Could turn it around potentially. There is, again, at the end of the day, I keep using that word potentially because we know what these players are capable of. eUnited are a squad, you know, just to hammer it home, they were the winners, the champions here of Contenders Season 0, and to see them fall so far it's a little bit heartbreaking in a way because we know these players are capable of much more in terms of, as a whole. You know, I was always such a big fan of, you know, not just the UK players on eUnited, not just because I'm the biggest Team UK fanboy known to man, but...
You're really making the case that you are right now.
Well, yeah, I am planning on attending BlizzCon with a massive Union Jack flag, so I am probably going to be cementing that home.
You need to get into a fist fight with Captain Planet. He's your counterpart on Team USA.
He's going to be wearing his morph suit, United's, the US flag shorts. Yeah, I don't know what I'm planning for my outfit, but it's going to be fantastic.
Whatever it is, you must fight him, or at least take a funny picture where it looks like you're going to fight him.
Oh yeah, I will. We don't resort to violence here, you know, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure.
There's no violence here. I've never hit anyone in my life.
I believe you. I fully believe.
That's an insult in itself, right there. That's like a hidden. There's multiple layers to that joke. I fell right into it. I'll admit it. But eUnited here are going to be on the attacking side for the time being. The Misfits, they aren't going to be on the defense. And Misfits, again, no messing around from them. They're running a composition they like to run time and time again. It's the Ana and the Lucio sort of defensive deal, and they're actually holding very aggressively far forward. You don't normally see this from teams.
No, and you don't really see Misfits going this far up either. I think in this case they want to play a little bit fast and loose with things. Of course, they do have nothing to lose at this point. They have everything locked up. But we'll see how they play it. I don't think they're going to give up anything for free. As you had Morta,
I just realized who was playing the Widow.
I
didn't look at the name, but Morta, the support player for eUnited, is on the Widowmaker. He's just trying to flex, you know, he's trying to show off. But eUnited are getting some decent push time for the time being. But Misfits, well, as soon as it gets through this car wash section, all hell is going to break loose.
Well, it is worth knowing they are running triple DPS, first point Gibraltar. This, of course, has had very not so great success for C9 over the course of Gibraltar in this tournament. See if eUnited can make it work. Misfits, though, they're not really taking much damage at all. But, oh, Tavik gets caught in, as I'm saying that, boombox from downtown. And that might give eUnited the pick they need to really tear this wide open, but that sleep dart gives them some space.
Yeah, no real respect being shown here for the side of eUnited. I mean, Boombox is still a standout player on the Zen. He's almost like a pseudo DPS player, but the pulse bomb laid down by...
Oh!
What is that, man? The triple kill, the D-Mech as well. The whole kill feed is just filled with red right now. And eUnited, I mean, you were saying, ZP, you were saying, you know, you want to see them turn up, you want to see them show what they're capable of. This is eUnited just saying, you know, well, here we are.
The timing on that was so good, too. As soon as D.Va was getting demeched, Voltaia just drops it in, guaranteeing that he would get the baby D.Va, if nothing else, but ends up getting so much more. Yeah. Really nice stuff here from eUnited. And now Unfixed has attack visor and good positioning. If they can peel this Winston off him, he can use the visor here and really rip this wide open for eUnited.
Bit of a tactical play here. If Misfit's going to be using that nano boost there onto him, the tactical visor used by Unfixed doesn't get anything from it. In fact, 8 up, a lot of shields being dropped and whatnot, and now we see the Primal Rage used by Swoosh. There's a sound barrier now as well. Cruz's Dragon Blade will be completely negated. The Bio Grenade will deny a lot of healing from him for the time being.
Cruz not able to get what he's looking for at all there. And Misfits, even though they're against the wall with poor positioning, they're taking this one back. And I mean, part of that for eUnited, they gave up the top earlier than they needed to, and Unfixed didn't get the memo. He pops attack visor under pressure and gets very little done. And now Misfits are just gritting this back. Oh my
goodness. This entire game is just a frag clip show for Voltaia. He's just been turning up so much. This guy's tracking is insane. He's one of the few players, I mean, that I'd be very surprised not to see make it into the Overwatch League, because this guy has so much talent in him. You can just see it from his raw gameplay taking place here.
So we have a swap here. Unfixed now off the Soldier onto the Sombra, nearly getting blown up, but gets out in time. Offensive Sombra, a little bit more questionable here, but it can work. It's just now a matter of can he start hacking the health packs, taking them away from Misfits, and trying to charge his EMP quickly, because it's harder to charge your EMP here as an offensive Sombra.
I mean, we can try and break down Unfixed hero choices as much as possible, but I get the feeling that he is just trying to play mystery heroes right now. But we see eUnited, they've got the sound barrier used up, but Tavik is ready and waiting. Prime is going to be using that tactical visor with the nano boost laid on top of it, just cleaning up the rest of these players. Misfits are getting a very solid defense indeed.
Oh, look at this. Morto is just hiding back going, I'm not on the payload. You can't see me. My time is now.
Again, these references, you keep pulling out these wrestling references, and I've only just started picking up on them. We're in week 6, the last day,
Bren,
and I'm only just seeing them.
Bren, calm down. You need an attitude adjustment, okay?
All right, this needs to end. I need to, right, can somebody replace me? Can we get Uber? No. Uber? You want to cast for a bit, mate?
No, you're stuck in this room. You're stuck in this room with me. I got you for 3 minutes of playtime, Bren.
That's true. Again! This is incredible. It's the fact that I've even been picking up on them is something else as well. But
you've learned. But now, speaking of learning, here comes Swoosh, and he forced out the Transcendence. Boombox wanted none of that room of fun.
Still whacking them around for the time being. Swoosh is getting quite a bit of value out of that, forcing it out. But now the EMP is used. This is eUnited's time to shine, and there you have it. The D-Mech on top of that, Swoosh falling. Valutaja is kicking off all over the place right now. Cruz, the Dragon Blade. The Reflect comes out. He will be alive and kicking for the time being. You see, the cart will slowly start to move in, and they are going to be able to get this checkpoint. No contestation by Misfits.
And Misfits, that's because they just got utterly wiped out towards the end. Both Cruz and Valtaya getting good value into the backline, something that they haven't been getting quite as much. And Valtaya, he's not done yet. He's been unleashing the beast this game.
Valtaya is absolutely crazy. The tracking from this man, the amount of pulse bombs he's been picking up. He's already got another pulse bomb built up and ready. 98%. He's going to be backing off in healing. And I got to say as well, Unfixed on this Sombra is really working out for him here.
It is, and surprisingly so. It's difficult to get as many EMPs, but I think it's gotten some of the pressure off Cruz and Valtaya, though for Valtaya, I'm not sure he needs any help this game. He has been firing on all cylinders. His pulse bomb is up once more. He's going to back out because of the attack visor, but once Tvik is done seeing everything in the sights, Valtaya is going to run right back in. Let's see what he does.
Well, it's going to start to fade for the time being. The Transcendence is used here on the side of eUnited, but Fire Grenade from Zippy will bring down Unfixed, but still evened out here. eUnited are hammering it home. Valutaja's pulse bomb just really securing the deal for them as it stands. Self-destruct being sent in. Boombox picking up a double kill. This guy, again, the eUnited are really flexing. I mean, you said it here, and now ZP earlier on, you know, it's a bit of a shame the way eUnited are playing because they're capable of so much more, and they want to be showing what they're capable of coming into this, but they've definitely turned up here on Gibraltar.
If they're playing all Contenders season long like they are on Gibraltar, it would be a much different story. As now Cruz out with the blade, already set up. Valtaya just mopping up any of the scraps. So long as anyone damages them a little, Valtaya is in there. He's having a monstrous game right now.
What have you done with eUnited? I mean, seriously, this is a completely different team than what we're used to seeing right now. And Misfits, they're on the back foot. They're trying to stall this one out. The positioning is perfect as it stands. They're putting in the damage and doing justice right now to the players they've got. But now to Vic, he's going to get that nano boost on him. And as well as that, he's got a tactical visor, which he's going to be using to try and clean up this fight and get a defense going.
Misfits finally. Big sigh of relief as they go, finally it's over. The beast is dead. Valtaya is no longer killing everyone. Oh, goodness gracious me. And yeah, that's your line. Feel free to sue me later. We're in America.
It's fine. You know, I'll take that. I'll take that from you. But I mean, a more serious question, ZP, contrary to popular belief, I can actually ask them as well. I mean, do you think this is more Misfits not showing the respect to eUnited, or eUnited have just really turned up, you know, they've unleashed the beast, so to speak?
It's definitely a little bit of both, but I can't really take much away from Valtaya here. He's been having a phenomenal game. But now, Misfits, they actually have big stability here. Where Unfixed, he gets picked early on, and Valtaya no longer has anything to work with and not able to get away. Nice stagger there by Misfits that will be buying themselves time as eUnited, for as good as they were at moments here, they are down to their final minute.
Classic Boombox, man. Honestly, somehow finding these picks for his team, and it's like I said earlier, Boombox is almost like a pseudo DPS in a lot of ways of how he gets these picks, and they're going to lead it in now. The Transcendence is used pretty early on. Soundbar going to be used by Misfits now, and the game plan for eUnited is to wait until this fades and try and go in with some ultimates, but unfortunately they lose Cruz. Cruz was their win condition with that Dragon Blade, and now they are going to have to back off.
They get one more attempt here, but it's not going to be clean. Although Swoosh, he's really far out. This is dangerous. He gets picked. That was way too far. Oh. However, it works out. He martyrs himself for the cause because now they get 3 kills immediately off of it. It's very good now for Misfits. And eUnited, they're going to need a rough and tumble engage here where, not bad positioning, just somehow finding early entry kills to shell-shock Misfits.
Boombox trying to hunt for them with his orbs, and now the point is going to start to get contested. There's going to be a lot of self-destructs being sent out as well as the pulse bomb by Valu, but no kills being claimed. And Cruz still holding onto his Dragon Blade. Finally chooses now is the time to unleash it as he rolls forward. The overtime ticking down. Going to be answering it with a soundbar as well to try and keep them alive, but they're not getting any kills in the slightest so far.
No, Misfits, they have regained their senses. They are no longer drunk off of eUnited's early attack, and now eUnited, though, they're keeping in progress here. The Transcendence is going to keep them in this at least for a little bit longer. And actually, Misfits, they need to back out a little bit more now. Manaton's going to get staggered. They're going to be down to 5, and they don't have a lot to use to bring this back. So eUnited in overtime might very well be finishing out this map.
Never underestimate Boombox, honestly. He's one of those Zenyatta players that you cannot really take these 1v1s against a Tracer because he will absolutely school you. And you can look at him now, dragging out, desperately hunting for an opportunity for his team to secure this in the overtime. This push still going. Valutaja unleashes the pulse bomb. Doesn't get what he's looking for, but he will find the kills off the back of it. It's going to be the triple kill as he is just all over the place. The tracking is supreme.
Very good stuff here from Valtai. Now Cruz, Blade coming out. Not enough to finish out. Didn't get the heals, but doesn't matter. Valtai was right there.
Well played.
And eUnited, time is done, but they do finish out the map.
Yeah, honestly, I gotta say, it was looking so close towards the end there. eUnited, realistically, the way Misfits were playing, the positioning they had, the ultimates they had, they should not have let eUnited cap that out. But Valutaja, you know, he's been the man of this map right now, you know, the MVP almost of eUnited for the time being. He's been buying so much space for his team because he's such a threat that he gives so much options for Cruz. And even Unfix, when he's running the DPS, we've been questioning, you know, maybe eUnited should switch it up. But even he's been able to have a lot of space and a lot of impact as well, especially when he was running the Sombra on the earlier sort of stages here of Gibraltar.
I'm just happy for eUnited because even if Misfits comes back and just steamrolls them on their attack, I do feel like that was more shades of old eUnited there, where for both Volatile and Boombox, where if you think about when eUnited was crushing in Season 0, plenty of fights opened up with a big play from Volu, followed up by a big play by Boombox or vice versa. And they've struggled to sort of recapture that in Season 1 so far, but it felt like more of a return to form, and you know what? Last map for them in the tournament, better late than never.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you got to ask the question, why were they not playing like this earlier? Why have they not been turning up? But a couple of points to that. I mean, eUnited, this is one of their best maps on Gibraltar. You know, they're incredibly comfortable as a whole on this one, and it looks like they are going to be, again, opting for this Sombra on Unfix, which is, you know, I think I agree with this. Unfix had a pretty good performance on the Sombra. His EMPs were very impactful every single time. Never really getting or misplaying with it, and off the back of it, eUnited did manage to get a massive amount of cap time from it. ZP, you're umming and ahhing. You're raising your hand to me. What's your thought process on it? Do you disagree?
I do disagree in the sense here because I feel like Sharik has trouble when he has to freelance as the main tank here. And there's a very clear win condition for Misfits, which is if they kill Sharik early on, eUnited's not going to be able to hold anything back. It might have actually been better to like put Cruz onto a flex tank here and let Volatalia just freelance, and that way you still have control. Because now, if United loses even a single person, they're not going to be able to keep control here early on. And unfortunately for them, they're up against Logix. Logix is pretty good at putting you into that situation.
Well, for the time being, we're going to see United on the defense just hammering home, trying to get the damage in, trying to build up these ultimates, just poking and prodding, so to speak. The reflect by Vic does not want to be falling for the time being, and this car is moving a decent degree, but Unfix is just really toying with them for the time being. He's using this relocate, trying to build up his EMP by hacking up those health packs.
Look at this, to Vic right now, just moving in, getting extra free damage, and now they're securing positioning. Boombox is down. There's very little that's going to keep Sharik up here, and Sharik knows that he's under fire, nowhere he can go, pinned down by both sides. And here's the problem here, Bren. Even though they have an EMP coming up, they don't have control of this fight in the least. No. Misfits can just power through them. Realistically, they should. I mean, the EMP is going to get committed here by Unfix, but Misfits currently have 6 alive, and they all have complete control of the point right now. And I mean, look at this, already capturing the point. They try and contest it, but it's going to be 5 minutes on the clock here for Misfits. Just really turning up right now, and Unfix, as he drops as well, I'm curious if we're going to see a switch up from him if he's going to move to a eUnited role. And the thing is with how eUnited was playing that too, they weren't comfortable all diving in with Sharik there. Sharik got left out on an island, so rather than giving him control as Winston should, Sharik was kind of left on his own there, and that's the problem with what eUnited's running here, where they're running double DPS and the Sombra and 2 supports. Their ability to control these fights, if they suffer even the slightest bit of an early pickoff, it's not really there.
Wow. See the attempt by eUnited, moving in. Cruz is going to unleash the Dragon Blade, but he's shut down. Boombox bringing down to Vic in the end, but also Cruz going to be falling to Swoosh there. Now the sound barrier used by Misfits to try and hammer this one home. Still plenty of ultimates to use if you want to try and take this superior team fight, but Logic's a bit of a misplay there. Doesn't quite get the kill into Boombox. Finally going to be answered out for them for the time being. Running them down in close quarters, but realistically, that is where Misfits want to be fighting them as they do just clean up the rest of these kills.
So long as Misfits is even remotely close to each other, their ability right now to just control these fights by utilizing the Winston and D.Va in tandem, it's just too strong. eUnited has very little options here. The EMP can put them ahead for a moment, which they likely should use here, but there's still ways Misfits can bring this fight back, even with a good EMP like that.
There you have it. I mean, the EMP is going to connect Manaton in a bit of trouble, but he's got the heals from the rest of his team now. Beat dropped by eUnited will only connect onto 3 members of their team. So looking to try and contest with it now, but remember, self-destruct is going to be sent flying here onto the point, and he connects 2 kills of it. How does that even happen here? Remotely, they're trying to contest the point, but it's perfect. Already setting it up. The point still being contested, but not for much longer.
Misfits right now is steamrolling in. I'm sorry, but this just feels like a case where you can't do anything but really look at the composition and wonder where, yeah, sure, Misfits is playing really well and all the rest, but eUnited, their conditions for a good team fight right now are so slim with how they have to play this. They're swapping Unfixed to the 76, but it's not going to solve their control problem that they've been just struggling against this entire time.
Yeah, and especially if you look at the ultimate situation for Misfits right now, it's really a struggle across the board for them because they've got both the support ults available. They've got Tvik with his Dragon Blade, Logic's with the Pulse Bomb, and he's currently just sitting waiting. And now the initiation comes in. Nothing can be done. It's the Nano Blade by Tvik. He immediately deletes 2 supports off the map, and his team, they can just focus on the back lines and bring down eUnited.
And Sharik was left all in his lonesome here. This is what he's stuck with, where he has to run for cover immediately. He doesn't have anyone backing him up, and yeah, you have the eUnited DPS sort of rolling around, but they're not doing nearly enough versus just total control that Misfits has right now. And now eUnited, they have to struggle to get out of spawn. You have Swoosh camping the door here. He's got Primal Rage and act like a bouncer. Tvik dying though, that's kind of big. He got picked off. And now Swoosh is going to have to make some room to compensate.
I mean, right now they're just pushing this cart in. Nobody can get out because of Swoosh using his Primal Rage. Valutaja tries to contest the point, but Shark will fall. Still moving forward now. The Primal Rage will fade. And Logic's still free reign for this man. Built up the Pulse Bomb. Is going to be going for it. Just going to slightly miss this one. And are we going to actually see a reset here? eUnited do manage to hold on for the time being.
eUnited, they managed to get out. And a big part of that was Unfixed getting the pick off on the Tvik, right? Where if Tvik was able to stay alive, that probably goes a very different way. But now he's swapping. And the reason is the payload's so far up that you see that high archway there. Tvik can get on top of it. That's going to be very good to just lay in damage and make things very tough for anyone on eUnited to stay alive, particularly Sharik, who is public enemy #1 as the only tank on the field.
Right now, Manaton just waiting for the correct opportunity to use this self-destruct. It's going to be the Primal Rage used by Sharik again, trying to basically secure this home for them, as well as the Tactical Visor, but now is the time to strike. Manaton moves into the backlines with the bomb, moves it forward. Boombox answers back with the Transcendence to try and keep his team alive.
And Swoosh might be down here, but here's the key for Misfits. They still have Manaton that's controlling space in and around the point. Tvik now getting a much better position. Logic's on the front line, Tvik in the back, and eUnited, even with the sound barrier, doesn't feel comfortable moving in. It's tasty onto Cruz! Huge Pulse Bomb from Logic's.
I love plays like that. I mean, Logic's, again, showing why he is the #1 Tracer currently in this tournament right now. Maybe you can make an argument for Effect as well. I mean, that's a matchup I'd love to see. I mean, Effect versus Logic's. But in this case, for now, Logic's turning up that final Pulse Bomb, just securing it for his team, and they do manage to complete it with 3.5 minutes remaining. eUnited, you know, because they pushed it in the overtime, they only get a minute to work with.
So eUnited, I'm not sure we're going to be seeing anything different out for them. I think, even historically, there is a bit more of an edge to triple DPS on attack versus defense, even though it hasn't been so much a case on Gibraltar this season. You don't have to worry about as much on control, especially if you can get the early pick. On defense, though, eUnited just looked lost because Misfits, they could just huddle around the payload and go, well, you guys have to engage on us at some point. We are very happy to just sit here and push this, and eUnited really struggled to find good ways in on that.
Yeah, and now when they're going to be on the attack, it's going to be a troubling scenario because from what we saw of that initial defense by Misfits, they actually held them a very decent way on this first checkpoint. So it's not out of the ordinary now if we do see that eUnited don't actually manage to get a decent amount of progress. But meanwhile, while all this is kicking off, everyone's just really staring down Zebasai. I feel bad for him. Pinning this guy in. What is happening here?
So Zebasai, You know, he just made some disparaging comments about Zupe. I don't know why anyone would do that when Zupe is his great friend and support ally, but he crossed the line.
I mean, it's like bullying in the schoolyard right now. But again, Misfits,
he messed up.
This positioning by them is very forward, very aggressive, much more so than we're used to watching out of them. But I'm going to see Sharek, he rolls forward. He has the heals to try and support him. He's just going to put in a decent amount of work, force the positioning of Misfits back out of that little enclosure. For the time being, we're going to see very aggressive, just contesting the cart, not letting them get too far forward.
And the conditions here are a little bit different for Misfits, right? They just want to delay it a little bit so they only have to win one key team fight to take it. They got unfixed out of the fight early. eUnited will get a chance to regroup here, but already Vic has put Misfits in a very good situation where now eUnited, they're going to struggle just to get out of their spawn doors to some extent, depending on how Misfits wants to play this, because this is one time where they can play really far forward. It's not the normal rules when there's only 15 seconds left.
I mean, right now, that is the game plan for Misfits. You know, as you mentioned, 15 seconds remaining. Morte, desperate times calls for desperate measures, and he's going to be moving over to the Widowmaker. He wants to show off his DPS prowess, going to be going for these miracle shots, but as the time ticks down, Misfits are playing so well. Logix in the back lines deals with him. Cart not being pushed for the time being, just really ticking down the overtime, desperately going for it. Sticky is not going to hit there for Valutaya. Not going to be finding it, but at the end of the day, doesn't really matter. Nobody's on the payload. There you have it. eUnited not getting any distance whatsoever.
That is going to be the shortest yellow box victory I think we've seen on Gibraltar in quite some time.
Yeah, I haven't seen a shorter one like that. I mean, that is brutal right there.
You know, Bren, we have to find out some alternate names for the yellow box victory. We say that a lot, and, you know, it's good. It's classic.
You say it a lot. I say the golden box, right? Golden sounds much better than yellow.
Give us a different name here. Without using box, golden, or yellow, what do you call that?
The golden cuboid of victory.
You can't use golden.
Why not? Golden just sounds so much better, you know. You associate gold with victory.
All right, well,
it's glowing, I guess. It's got lines. What would you say?
Well, I would say the sunny square of destiny.
Sunny square. That's honestly, that's pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. That's not bad. You're going to knack for this. I think we need to get you on the development team.
So from here on out, for the rest of this map, it's Misfits trying to get to the sunny square of destiny.
I mean, they've got 3.5 minutes to do it. And, I mean, they're teasing with this weird composition coming out the gates, but honestly, I feel like at this point, you could run anything and still potentially win this, because eUnited have to play so aggressive here on this first defense that the chances of them trying to basically hold this off for 3.5 minutes, it's almost impossible.
This is suit jacket bet time, basically, as far as that goes.
Yeah,
like,
I've already done that.
I'll make my hot sauce bet. I will chug
If they defend this, if they don't manage to push it in, if eUnited take this map, you will chug a bottle of hot sauce.
Yes.
All right, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, everyone right now has suddenly become an eUnited fan as they want to see ZP do this. I mean, that's some hell of a shoulder content right there. But look at this dive into the back lines. Bio Grenade will keep them healed up for the time being, but so much overwhelming damage and nobody to realistically contest this card up. ZP breathes a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I mean, breathe a sigh of relief, but it's also just, that was ugly. Brutal. Misfits just slicing their way through eUnited. No chill whatsoever.
Even the game was just... The game was confused by that one. It was like, what? Oh, okay, like, never mind.
I guess this is over.
It's over.
The game's like, wow, I've never had to end Gibraltar here before. The game is sentient, by the way. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
I believe it, man. I mean, the things that this game has done to me, you know, I feel like it's got a bit of a thing against me, but Valu there, fantastic plays from that guy throughout this entire match. You know, this last map in particular, you know, Valutaja was I think, the shining light of eUnited there. Even as much as they did lose it in quite a dominating fashion, you can definitely see why people still consider him to be one of the top tracers.
It was a good showing for Valutaya, to be sure, to round out Gibraltar. Even though it didn't go the way of eUnited, you know what? I am curious to see what happens of them into the future in Overwatch. We'll just have to see. But guys, that'll do it for us. We're thrown to the desk.